In this tutorial, we're going to have a look at the demo project, which is part of the XtraBuild Designer installation package. You have two ways of opening the demo project. You can use the Open tab over here, or you can use the one below, which is called the Recent tab. You can simply click on the Recent tab, and you see the project called XtraBuild CRM Lite. Below the name, you can see the path where the project is stored. All you need to do now in order to open the project is simply click on it. After a few seconds, you'll see that on the right side of the screen, a link to the database that is associated to this project is going to be displayed. This is a SQLite type of database, and this is going to store all the information that is being handled within the project. The next step is to click on the database itself. Again, after a couple of seconds, you'll see that all the sections that allow you to edit and work with the project are going to be displayed and available. All the buttons that are displayed in the ribbon bar are linked to a particular section of the project. You can change the settings of the project from this section, you can create or open a database from here, or you can play with the design of the tables from this section. Also, you can change the security properties of this project by playing with these buttons in this section. I think that by now you're curious to see how the project actually looks like. Well, in order to do that, you need to run the project. You have two ways of doing that. You can either click on the Run button in the Project section in the ribbon bar, or simply click on the Play button from up here. Now let's run the project. This is how the project actually looks like. This is what your end user is going to see. All the buttons that you see over here are custom components that you as a designer or a developer can create for your customer. Clicking on them will open different tabs. Let's open the Customers tab. This is going to display different information that are related to your customers. So do the Employees tab. This is going to open a separate tab below. There's going to be information regarding your employees, the suppliers as well, documents, and many others. Now, if you want to close these, you can click on the X over here, or you can right-click on the tab and choose Close. You also have different options to play with these tabs, but let's close these two. Let's close this for now and have a look at the table structure by clicking on the Design button in the Tables section. On the left side of the screen, we have the table list of all the tables that are being used in this application. Let's click on the Company table. Now, on the right side of the screen, you have all the fields that are being associated to this table. Before we continue, let me show you a cool trick that will definitely come in handy in the future. Let's say you're looking for the company table and you can't find it fast because you have lots and lots of tables. Well, you can search for it. Just use the header of this table, click on the names, and type in CEO for company. Well, now all the tables that contain the C and the O are going to be displayed. And here's your table, the company one. Now to get back to your list, just delete these letters, typing backspace, and here you have it. Getting back to our company table, let's have a look at all the fields that we have available over here. You have logo that can hold an image, you have address or registry number that can hold up string values, and many others. But this is the part where you can edit these fields. Just click on one of them, and you can also change the name, put in a default value, add a description, or change the order ID. You can also add new fields to your tables by clicking on this plus sign over here. This is the moment where you have to decide what your field is going to do. You do that by choosing one of the editors that you have available on this list. For example, you have the text editor that is going to allow you to add or edit a single line of text. You have different ones that are going to allow you to add or edit multiple lines of text, like this one. You have also the spin editor that is going to work with numeric values, but we're going to get into more details about these editors in future videos. Let's close the database structure editor for now and have a look at a different element of XtraBuild Designer. It's a very important one. That element is called licensing. Licensing will allow you to run your projects on computers that have XtraBuild runtime installed on some conditions. Those conditions can be limited by time or limited by hardware. For example, if you want to define a list of computers that are allowed to run your project, this is the place where you can do that. Just make sure you have the computer ID, which is generated by XtraBuild runtime, which is installed on the end user's computer. Paste it in this field, give it a name, and also make sure that you set this to active. This is all that you need to do. Save, and that's it. Let's say you want to set up some time limits on your project. Simply go to the Time Limit tab, and you have two main areas to work with over here: the trial license expiration and the commercial license expiration. By default, the trial license expiration is set to project never expires, but you can change that. Let's say we want to set this project to expire on a particular date. After this date passes, your user can run the project only if he or she buys a commercial license. And this is the section where you can set that up. Simply click on the plus sign, give it a name. Let's say customer 1. You have the license key over here generated, and you can set this license to never expire. You can also add a different one. So we need to give it a name. And we can set this to expire at a particular date. This way, you have a very good control over your project. Now, let's have a look at another great feature of XtraBuild Designer. You can define users for your project, and you can do that by accessing the Users tab in the Security section. From here, you can create users, provide passwords. Also, you can set the password to never expire or give a particular date of expiration for the password. You can also enforce the password strength with different criterias over here. Also, you can give a particular profile to your user, and profile rights are managed from the Rights tab, also in the Security section. For example, if you want to provide some special administrative rights to your users, you can do that from this section. This is a very good way of managing users and how your project and database is being accessed. Let's save and close this. Now, after we've made changes to our existing project or created a new one, we may want to deploy it. Well, you can do that by clicking on the Deploy button in the Project section. You have two ways of deploying your project: anonymously or by providing a username and password. If you choose to allow anonymous login, next time someone accesses your database, won't be asked for your username or password. Well, if you still want to have username and passwords on, just leave this option unticked. Those credentials can be set up in the Users section that we've seen earlier. Now, click on Deploy, and all the changes will be saved to the database. I hope this has been informative for you, and I would like to thank you for watching.